Okay, here is our high classical ballet bun tutorial. You're going to need some water, either mousse, gel, or liquid hairspray, whatever you have. Liquid hairspray is some of my favorite because it kind of works like water but then dries like hairspray. You also need just some normal aerosol hairspray. We also need a brush, obviously, one of these smoothing bristle brushes, and then a little fine-tooth comb. Also some hair ties. You also need some bobby pins. These big, sturdy U-shaped ones work great for doing buns. You can get them off of Amazon and some hair salon stores. Also, you need some hair nets. You can also get these off Amazon. Those are super important. You're going to start with your water, just spraying your hair. You want it damp but not soaking wet. Also, the dirtier your hair is, the easier it is to work with. So the dirtier, the better. For the height of our bun, we want it at the crown of our head. So in order to find the crown of our head, you're going to draw a line from the top of your ears all the way up to the tip of your head. That's where the bun is going to sit. It's a good height for pulling up your eyebrows and also for elongating the line of our neck. That's why we sit it there. Then just brushing the rest of your hair up into the ponytail. If you have a lot of hair, this part probably will take longer. Then you're going to take your fine-tooth comb and brush all the little bumpies out of the ponytail. So you can see I'm just brushing it through, pulling it back so that it's very smooth. We want the bun to be the ponytail to be very tight to our head. So you see I'm working on the back of my hair right there, making sure that it's flat to my neck and my scalp. We don't want it to bulge in the back. It's going to make not as pretty of a line. Then just putting your hair into a ponytail. It's okay if it's not perfect yet. Then you're going to take your mousse, your gel, or your liquid hairspray, whatever you have, and put a lot of it in it. So I'm using my liquid hairspray. I'm putting so much of it in my hair. Then taking my smoothing brush and just kind of brushing it back into the rest of my hair so that it's holding all of my hair together. Again, using a lot of this, you want your hair to feel like a helmet at the end of it. None of those little hairs should be going anywhere. 0 wispies is the goal. This process can take a while, so just keep brushing. Also, here's a little trick if you have a bigger bump. Take the end of your fine-tooth comb, shove it through, and pull it back towards your ponytail. It's going to help get rid of those bigger bumps, and then I kind of just brush it through with that fine-tooth comb again. Then you're going to take the ponytail out of your hair so that you can take the comb again, and those bumpies we've just brushed to the tip of our ponytail, we're going to brush out of our ponytail so that it's smoother again. Remember to make sure that the height of our ponytail stays at the crown of our head and that we're making sure our hair is tight to our scalp so that there's no bulging or bagginess in the back of our neck. If you have your dancer, if you're doing their hair, look down when you're brushing the back of their head. That helps. If you're doing it yourself, look down. Looking down will also help. And then I'm just putting my ponytail back in my head, adding some more hairspray, repeating this step until I'm satisfied with how smooth my hair is. I ended up redoing my ponytail twice because it wasn't good enough after the first time. So you can redo it as many times as you need to get rid of all those bumps. And then after you're done with your ponytail, once again, just going back with my smoothing brush and my fine-tooth comb to smooth out any lasting bumps. Then you're going to take your hairspray. You're going to want to hold it super close to your head, like 2 inches away, and just coat your hair in that hairspray. It's going to suck to wash out, but it's great in the moment for getting rid of all those wispies. Then just taking my brush and brushing it back towards the rest of my hair into the ponytail. On the back of my neck, really making sure to get rid of those wispies at the very bottom of my head, those little baby hairs. We want them gone. No baby hairs. The goal for the ponytail is smooth and tight. Then you're going to take your water and saturate your hair in it. It's going to help with making our bun. So we want to make sure it's pretty wet and then just brushing through it, getting out the tangles. Moving on to the twisty part of our bun, you're going to want to separate your hair into either 2 or 3 sections, 3 if your hair's thicker, 2 if it's thinner. Then you're going to take the first section and twist it away from your face. And then keep twisting it until you get to the edge of your hair and then kind of wrapping it around your ponytail to make the first part of a bun. I like to call this the anchor part of your bun. Then you're going to take your bobby pin and put it from the top of your head straight down and then pulling it towards your face and shoving it back, almost like you're hooking your hair or sewing your hair into your head. From the top, pull it forward and push it in, like kind of like a weaving motion. You're going to do this all the way around until you get to the back of your head past your ear, but not all the way finishing your bun, so letting that last part hang. Then I'm taking half of my remaining hair and creating my second section. And again, twisting it away from your forehead, wrapping it around the part of our bun that we have already. So you can see I'm pulling it to the front, pulling it pretty tight to the last piece, but not on top. We want this bun to be very flat to our head so we don't have a doorknob sticking out of the top of our head. And then you're going to keep adding pins to your hair in that sort of weaving, sewing motion to help secure it to our head and really pick up the hair of our ponytail. You can see here it's starting to make that little cinnamon roll shape, and then I'm just letting the rest of that hair hang there for a moment. Going back and just adding some pins to make sure it stays nice and flat and secure, like a nice squashed cinnamon roll on our head instead of a doorknob. Then we're going to take our third section, twist it again away from our head, wrap it around the part of our head, the part of our bun that we've already done, and then pinning, making sure we pin that back section there so that doesn't flap up. And remember to pin it next to the section that you've just done, not on top of it, because if we go on top of it, we're going to have the bun will not be flat enough. Then you're going to take your first section and finish twisting it and wrapping it around the section we've just done so that we get that nice cinnamon roll shape. And then as you can see, I'm about to show you, I just take that last little piece of hair and shove it underneath that twist because there's not really enough to pin down. So it kind of gets rid of those little end pieces. Then our second and third twist, I kind of combine because I don't have enough hair. So that third one I just shove underneath and then continue taking that second twisty and finishing the bun, wrapping it around. Once you get the hang of this part, it's easy to get the flow and kind of wrap it around. And then you can see that nice cinnamon roll shape that we have with our bun. Nice and flat to our head, resting at the crown of our head so it's elongating our head and neckline and not distracting. Then we're going to take our hairnet and wrap it around our bun. So if you have a bigger bun like me, you probably can only wrap it twice. If you have a smaller bun, you might be able to wrap it 3 times. Then you're just going to take whatever amount of hairnet you have left, pull it to the side and shove it underneath and pin it down. Because I can only wrap it around twice and I really want to make sure this is securing all my flyaways, I'm adding a second hairnet on top of the first one just to really make sure everything is locked in underneath my bun. Then I'm taking pins and pulling them out of my bun or adding pins to help pin those edges down so it doesn't look like we have a flying saucer on the top of our head and that the bun is really an extension of our head. Then you're going to take your hairspray and hairspray right on top of what we've just made so that we don't have any escaping wispies or baby hairs from our bun. Again, the more hairspray, the better. Your hair should not move for a decade after you've done this. And there we go. That is your ballet bun tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Mwah.